Hi guys, this is Jaden here, and before going to sleep, I wanted to upload something, and I've decided to quickly share my opinion on Toonami Rewind. Now, me doing a video like this on Toonami Rewind had been an idea in my head since sometime last year, if not earlier this year. And you know what? I figure, yeah, let me get my opinion on Toonami Rewind more out there, more clear. Like I have talked about Toonami Rewind before on the channel, but I never really gave it a video like this. And not only that, I don't think I've even really brought it up in my videos in a while. And I guess it makes sense why, since it's been shut down for over a year now. But yeah, this was something Adult Swim had for a bit more than half of 2024. And I did watch Toonami Rewind like when it was going on for certain episodes of Dragon Ball Z Kai and the original Naruto show. And while I don't know too much about Sailor Moon, I do remember seeing parts of certain Sailor Moon episodes on Toonami Rewind. And I don't remember much of what I saw, but I remember what I saw was pretty good. But yeah, Toonami Rewind. What's my overall opinion on it? Well, okay, it was far from perfect. It's fair how people hated it. Like it was far from perfect. It did have its flaws, but overall, I still thought it was cool. I still thought it was cool. Maybe I mostly just thought it was cool because like I liked having Dragon Ball Z Kai and Naruto air like on not only the same like block, on not only like the same channel, but like the same day as these cartoons like King of the Hill regular show and Gumball. And what made it even cooler was that they play Dragon Ball Z Kai and King of the Hill, like my two favorites of those five shows back to back. So yeah, that was probably most of why I liked Toonami Rewind. It was cool having like Dragon Ball and Naruto on Adult Swim outside of the weekend. But yeah, like I said, Toonami Rewind was far from perfect. It did have some pretty big flaws. And I guess one of them would include like not being an accurate representation of the old Toonami like people wanted it to be. And yeah, I think that's part of why they shut down. And I also know it was because of like low viewership. And I do agree, regardless of which version of Dragon Ball Z that I prefer between Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Z Kai. Dragon Ball Z, the original Dragon Ball Z, was what aired on Toonami back in the day in Cartoon Network on Cartoon Network, and that's what they should have aired instead of Dragon Ball Z Kai. I don't care if I still overall prefer Kai over Z. Dragon Ball Z, like Kai is great, don't get me wrong, but Dragon Ball Z was what aired on the channel on Toonami back in the day, back when it was on the kids stream of Cartoon Network. And Toonami Rewind is supposed to be like a callback or whatever to the original Toonami, So yeah, they should have played Dragon Ball Z instead of Dragon Ball Z Kai. And like yeah, like Dragon Ball Z Kai airing on both versions of Toonami. Yeah, I think that's fair to say that that was like a big missed opportunity, especially since not to mention Dragon Ball Z Kai was already playing on the normal Toonami at the time. And yeah, like and what was especially bad about it was that they played the same Kai episodes that they would play on the normal Toonami, especially since like okay, when it first came out, there wasn't like as close of a gap. Like when Toonami Rewind first came out, there wasn't as close of a gap between like what episodes they play of Kai on that version of Toonami and the normal Toonami. But then Toonami would postpone airing certain episodes of Kai, Naruto Shippuden, and I assume One Piece to like do something different and like give other animes more time on the spotlight. So that would cause them to have to postpone airing certain Dragon Ball Z Kai episodes on the normal Toonami, meaning that Toonami Rewind, it would give Toonami Rewind some time to catch up and overall create a closer gap between the episodes they play on the normal Toonami and Toonami Rewind of Kai. And yeah, that was annoying. It would like I remember it would often cause me to like skip watching Kai on Toonami Rewind because of them playing like the same episodes of like mostly the Namek saga of Dragon Ball Z Kai. And I remember there were even like maybe 2 or 3 weeks where I would replace it with an episode of the normal Dragon Ball Z because like I liked this idea better. What was at least at the time my preferred version of Dragon Ball Z on Saturday nights, and my older brother Jacob's preferred version of Dragon Ball Z on Fridays, because Dragon Ball Z is a lot longer than Dragon Ball Z Kai, has a lot more episodes, and like has like a way bigger gap and all that stuff. yeah, they should have aired that on the original Toonami instead of Dragon Ball Z Kai. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Kai; it's a great series, but like it airing on both versions of Toonami wasn't the best idea, especially not if you were going to show the same episodes, which was a big problem. Or even if they couldn't like air that version of Dragon Ball Z, could it not have aired like, I don't know, maybe the original Dragon Ball or maybe like some other anime show from a different franchise? So yeah, that was a big problem I had with Toonami Rewind. Now I did list these problems I had with Toonami Rewind in a community post, but yeah, I refuse to believe you guys can see that community post now. Looking at how many community posts I've made since then, so yeah, that was one of the problems I had with Toonami Rewind. And number two was skipping over the Zabuza arc of the original Naruto show. Okay, that sucked. Although maybe that's more of a justifiable problem. They probably just lost the rights to the Zabuza arc, so they had to skip it. So yeah, I think that would be more excusable than them playing the same episodes of Kai and then playing that instead of the original Dragon Ball Z. But yeah, them skipping over the Zabuza arc sucked. But hey, at least they got to play some like cool episodes of like the early parts of the tuning exams. Personally, I think like probably the best episode of Naruto they played on Toonami Rewind was like the one where Sasuke wakes up with the curse mark and pulls that dude's arms and stuff. If it isn't that, then I guess maybe it'd be one of the episodes during Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke's fight against Orochimaru in the woods. That was cool, and I really like how like Toonami Rewind played like those episodes where they fight Orochimaru in the woods, like during September around the Halloween season, because I feel that fight fits in pretty well with the Halloween atmosphere. But yeah, what was another problem I had with Toonami Rewind? They showed the same promos over and over and over again. I especially remember like one of the first few promos they got out of Toonami Rewind. Well, if not maybe the first promo they got out of Toonami Rewind, that would start off with the Sailor Moon character saying, "We have to interrupt this program to bring you some breaking news." And back in the day, Toonami was your after school vibe. Like, bro, like I remember hearing that come off the TV so much. Well, we had to like stay in our hotel era in 2024 for a few months. I heard that promo off the TV off Adult Swim so much during that one year. Same thing with the Rick and Morty anime promo that they showed on the TV a million times during that year before that anime even came out. And yeah, that was annoying, man. That's like a type of problem Adult Swim has had for years, playing the same commercials too many times. Now, okay, I get that they need to show advertise stuff more good enough so people know about it and all that stuff. But come on, you did not need to play it that much. Could you not have like at least played it like half of the amount of times you guys would show that Tsunami Rewind promo? Although fortunately they updated the promo like around the time I went to transition school. I went back to transition school in 2024. So yeah, that was cool. But then even then, that was still like another promo they'd show a lot. But if I remember correctly, I wouldn't see that promo on as much as like the previous Toonami Rewind promo that they were annoying us with before. So yeah, those were my problems with Toonami Rewind. It was like playing like the original Dragon Ball Z. Okay, it was playing Dragon Ball Z Kai instead of the original Dragon Ball Z, but that wouldn't be as nearly as much of a problem if they weren't playing like the same episodes of like the Saiyan Saga and Frieza sagas of Kai. And I remember they wouldn't play. Not that I was watching Tsunami Rewind like when they were doing the last few weeks of it with Dragon Ball Z Kai marathons and stuff, but I know they couldn't play like any episodes past when Goku went Super Saiyan for the first time. And yeah, them playing the same Kai episodes as the original Toonami was annoying, as well as them skipping over the Zabuza arc of Naruto. Like, come on, it's not like they skipped over that arc during the original run of Naruto when it was on Toonami. But still, they probably just lost the rights to it. That could be a more justifiable problem. And like them showing the same promos over and over again was pretty annoying. And yeah, I do agree that it could have been a more accurate representation of the original Toonami when it was on Cartoon Network, like people wanted it to be. But like overall, I still thought it was cool. I still thought it was cool. It was nice having Dragon Ball Z Kai and Naruto on Fridays, and yeah, and I guess Sailor Moon too because I did watch like bits of Sailor Moon when it was on Toonami Rewind, and I might have already said this earlier in the video, but I remember I don't remember too much of what I saw, but I remember what I saw was pretty good. And I remember thinking it was sad news when it was announced that Toonami Rewind was shutting down. Oh well. Like I didn't think, I definitely didn't think it was as sad as like when they lost Checkered Past on Adult Swim the next year. But fortunately, Checkered Past is back now. Not that that matters much because I can't watch Cartoon Network or Adult Swim on live TV at the moment. But I probably will. I probably will be able to watch Cartoon Network slash Adult Swim off live TV again at some point. Who knows? There's a possibility for a lot of things. But yeah, overall, Toonami Rewind, it was heavily flawed. Like I enjoyed it for what it was, but it definitely wasn't the best block we had on Adult Swim. Overall, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give it like, I don't know, maybe like a high six, maybe like a high 6 out of 10. Like overall, I do kind of miss it, but then again, that probably shouldn't matter much because, like I just said about me not watching Cartoon Network or Adult Swim live, although I've been using the like the schedule archive site a lot lately, a lot this year so far to look at Cartoon Network and Adult Swim scheduling for certain days. But yeah, overall, Toonami Rewind like 6 or 7 out of 10. Maybe I like it more than most people do, but at the same time, I could definitely understand why people hated it. And yeah, it does make sense for it to be shut down, even though I find it shutting down as sad. But hey, I'm far from the saddest news we could have ever gotten. I enjoyed Toonami Rewind for what it was. It was flawed and it was very far from perfect. It could have been better, but I guess it's better than it not existing at all. But yeah, overall, Checkered Past is a lot better. Even though Toonami Rewind was the one with Dragon Ball, but I overall prefer Western cartoons over anime anyway. Even though I still like anime enough, and I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan, that like might still be my favorite series of all time. But on a more overall standpoint, I definitely like Western cartoons more. But still, that's just my opinion. If you guys want to, you could let me know in the comment section down below, like how you felt about Toonami Rewind, whether you liked it or didn't like it, and all that stuff. And now I'm gonna end the video off from here and get it uploaded and go to sleep, as I probably should, since it's almost 2:40 in the morning. Bye, you guys. Have a good night. Thanks for watching the video. And I might upload a Wheel of Fortune game after waking up tomorrow.